going to be kind of unscripted, but it's territory I got to cover. As you probably already guessed, I spend a bit more time on my bike than a lot of people. This is not a new thing. I've been doing it for many years. I guess probably mostly since 2004. Um, so I'm at 6,500 miles on this thing, and that's just what it says on the odometer. I've actually put a lot more in. The mileage that I did put on it that's more intense comes from trail riding in places like this one here. This isn't mountainous. It's actually quite a, casual valley trail. There aren't that many really rocky obstacles here, but I think the bike can handle all that kind of stuff. So, what have I learned in the last year? I had to replace the motor because the other one it might have had a defect. And that actually went smoother than I thought it would. I was able to just undo the bolts and then swap it out, as you can see in this photo. I think I'll put in here. And what else? Took it through another winter, but this winter wasn't very intense and I didn't bike that frequently in the snow. I was concerned coming out of the winter with this new motor because it kind of reminded me of last year after I went through the motor, and I thought maybe that it was because of the winter that the motor went down, but it's not. It's just the first motor might not have been that good of a motor. So anyway, this one's solid. It's an M600, and it's got a lot of torque. So you got to be really mindful of how you work with your components. And I mentioned this already. So I'm buying a new cassette right now, and I made it through the winter with a cheapy cassette off Amazon for like $20, $25. And I managed to do that kind of thing. I buy cheapy cassettes and then swap out the smallest cogs. But for some strange reason, I'm starting to consider more expensive components because I just don't like messing with them as much. I think I'm still going to need to use the small cogs every once in a while just because I run through them so much. But when I swapped it out this time, when I swapped out the cogs recently, they have not been skipping, and I think it's because I've increased the chain tension. I think I took out 2 links, so I'm down to 114 right after purchasing the chain, which might be of use to some of you people. Maybe you think you shouldn't touch the chain after you buy it. In this case, I'm using a Shimano, I think 6701 chain. Before I was using cheapy chains off Amazon, and I wouldn't take the links out right after I got it. So that might have led to how much I was chewing up the cogs because I didn't drop the links. I was concerned about taking out links on this bike because I didn't want to treat it like my previous beater bikes, which I did mess around with when it comes to links and cassettes and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to keep it kind of standard for a while to see if it was supposed to perform well. But, I guess my previous education with my beater bikes has been useful because now I can approach this bike with what works and I can use the knowledge I already had. And if you think something will work, then you should do it because it probably will. And what else can I tell you? Swapped out spokes on the rear. Not everybody's going to be able to make that repair. It's really actually kind of easy. Let me see if I'll take a shot of the spokes. You can see them because they're a different color than the other ones. And then I'm still pretty addicted to the speed. I like getting to work faster. I've taken up to 24 a lot. It says 28, but you can never really get 28 unless you're like rapidly pedaling up a storm. and it's almost not usually on a straightaway. 26 sometimes straightaways. What else? The fork has been great. It's SR Sun Tour, XCR, and kickstand I thought I would hate because I always took it off my previous bikes, but I love it. There's nothing like having a kickstand. It's really great. You know, you think you're gonna save, you know, weight or time when you're using your bike all the time. Or, okay, here's the people that don't have kickstands. Oh, I got a bike for commuting and I got a bike for the woods. I'm not going to use my commuting bike in the woods. Why would I do that? That's the kind of person that has a no kickstand. Anyway, if you do have a kickstand, you use your bike for multi-purposes. It is a massive time saver. It's not a pain in the ass at all. I do notice that it rattles a bit, so I have to strap it down sometimes if I'm riding pretty hard. What else? I never use the throttle. I'd like to sometimes. I'd like to think that I would have a use for it, even though I bought it, but I haven't. I end up using the pedal assist all the time. There aren't really that many bikes out there that are class 3 and are appreciated by the I don't know, spandex wearing mountain bike community. But this bike and there's a few other ones. There's one that just came out by Aventon that you could use it like my bike. I just saw one today called Neureka, which looks good because it's carbon fiber and it's comparable pricing. It also uses an M600. Hi, one last thing. I found somebody that's doing something that would resemble my next steps if I go in the direction of more of a custom build. This guy from Vancouver has bought all of the various parts and decided to put it all together on one bike. And it's about $3,500, which is great because based on all the carbon fiber parts that he's using, this kind of bike can get upwards of like 10 grand US dollars. So I will flash this in the background, and I'm also going to flash the bike that I used to have here or behind me. And that bike is a mixture of all kinds of different parts. The frame was Soma from California. I covered this in another video. And so that just gives you an idea that I kind of know what I'm dealing with when it comes to this. The only thing that's missing is that these days, if you buy all the various parts, you can actually put yourself in the mindset now that it's okay to buy the various parts and put it together into one machine if you are using an e-bike motor. So that's roughly it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again in the future. Bye.